Hi, beloveds. Happy, 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 happy Sunday to any and everyone. Oh, Apollo says hi. He just jumped up here. Happy Sunday to anyone that's able to drop in with me live. I am your friend, your host, your healer, teacher, near-death experience cohort, Brooke Grove. And showing up today, wow, like that's the vibe. Just being human right now is a big holy wow. It has been such a shape-shifting kind of week, not just as a healer, teacher, and a mother, but in the human suit, like all the things. And I've had the immense privilege of continuing to sit in with some pretty exemplary channels and receive what they're sharing during these extraordinary times, and a couple mystery schools that I'm also in, because to me, connection is the antidote to what's being prescribed to us on a mass level right now. And unfortunately, not all of us have on the ground support that might be the vibration and frequency that we need, that really stabilizes and grounds our frequency. And on that, I do want to say, y'all know that normally when I come on here, I've spent about an hour in the creation field. I've been working with the Sophia Christos family, which to me is Magdalene, Yeshua, and Mother Mary. Today, that was just not how things unfolded. It was just one of those things where life was doing life, and I didn't get that time and space. So I paused and I'm like, Spirit, is it wise to go on? And they're like, absolutely. Show up as you are, like human. That's what people need right now. So I'm not as tapped in as I normally am, but I'm present. And I invite you just to get grounded, to get present. If you're in the chat, hey, I see you, Serenity and Dan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Have some water. Look at me. I've got my Kali cup. You know, I'm not playing when I've got the Kali cup. And have some water, get grounded. If there's anything that's like pertinent in your field right now, I invite you to share it with me. Something that's huge for me as a witness and a healer, teacher, and a mother right now is nervous system overwhelm. I would say the majority of people I've worked with this week, I do a lot of energy medicine in addition to the psycho-spiritual counseling with my clients. But the initial imprint, like when people are coming in, is just like frenetic. It's part of why I decided to show up in a less typical, grounded, cleared state, just in the heart and holy human, because that's where most people are. And there are some things that have been coming through from the Pleiades in particularly, and some of my divine feminine teachers that I might offer today that I think could assist you. So if you need support in any capacity with the nervous system, there have been 7 sort of guidelines that come through. My sister, Marguerite, who I've mentioned before, she runs the Inner Sanctum Temple for 7 Sisters Mystery School. She actually put together this list. I am going to offer it to you as someone that works with her, because I think the way that she put it together is exemplary and it might be of service. And then we can expand upon that. Excuse me, words are suffering today. I would like to also say there's some stories I feel are really dynamite from this week that I will share. And yes, thank you. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Here we go. Yes, again, someone feeling and sharing that they've had to really ground and find a way to stabilize. So with that, I had a wild week, and I'm going to use that as the segue to go into what Marguerite shared and how I'm translating that for you today. I had this wave come over me as I was working on people, and normally I'm able to like energetically boundary, and I don't take on like what I'm working with. I had to learn that skill set a long time ago because, as I've publicly discussed, a lot of my empathic and highly sensitive abilities were what co-created my autoimmune disease, which led to coma, which was highly compounded by trauma. But the reality was I had no boundaries. I was just an open sponge taking it all in. And for the first time in probably decades, I sort of felt that way this week. I just hit a wall. Like out of nowhere, I felt physically sick. Although I didn't have a virus, I didn't have like cold or flu or anything like that, but it was literally like the backside of my body just started purging. And I was super, super tired. I'm not someone that needs a lot of sleep, if I'm honest. Like I can go, go, go. I don't drink caffeine. I have a natural high amount of energy per the light and my vibration. I hit a wall and it was just like, I couldn't keep going. And my ego, because I am an independent person, I am a single mother, I have a lot on my plate. My ego was like, go, 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 go. And my spirit and my higher selves were like, absolutely no. Like, you surrender to whatever this wave is and you purge whatever this is. And there's no need to understand it. Sense it, allow it, receive it, rest. And I slept more than I've probably slept in years during this period of time. And when I rose anew with this energy, I was just like, wow, this is the weight that humanity is currently carrying. Like, this is the collective energy. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting, beloveds. Like, it's a lot. So if you're feeling like time lapses, brain fog, an ability to be present, you can't maybe stomach small talk, you disconnecting to stay grounded, or you can't engage with the information that's being presented to us for any reason, that's your nervous system. And it's just sending you a love letter. And honestly, all of our nervous systems are so overwhelmed because we weren't designed to live like this. We weren't designed to be constantly inundated by noise, by lies, by confusion, by manipulation. That's just not our nature. Our nature is to be connected, to be in nature, to be eating clean things. None of these things are the common popular way here and now. And so our systems are just struggling. And I can see my frequency is like changing the lights all the time right now. So you guys that know me, near-death experiencer, this happens. It's kind of a trip because I'm seeing it. Also why I don't use a mic. Frequency just impacts things. So on that note, I would like to share with you some of what Marguerite said. I'm translating it. It was really what came through from our star mothers and the Pleiades, and then I'm translating what she said. So you're getting a translation from the divine feminine, but I really feel this is potent medicine. Very simple stuff, beloveds. If you have a pen and paper and you want to jot notes, I encourage you to do so. Simple stuff, but simple stuff makes big changes. I always tell my children, like, baby steps are the solution to everything. Watching and witnessing a child, it gets up and it falls and it doesn't stop. It's just like, I fell, and it gets back up and keeps going. That's the solution to right now. So I invite you, if called, to take what Marguerite and the Pleiades shared and just make it part of your day to day. So taking a sip of Kali's medicine, and then I will share this. Interesting. My notepad went to another page and it's actually really good stuff. So maybe we'll go back to that. Fun part about being a channel is you don't always remember what you pull in. And I tend to write things in light language. So when I got to see it right there, I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. Okay. This is super, 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 super important. And I love the language she used here. So I believe I used the exact language she said. First and foremost, number one, protect the sanctuary of your consciousness. The sanctuary of your consciousness. Drop into just the frequency of those words for a few minutes. The sanctuary of your consciousness. That's beautiful, beatific, all the poetry words. That's powerful. Your consciousness, the seat of your soul, your love language with the divine is sacred space. It is sacred space. It is sacred space. It is holy. And the invitation and the reminder at the foremost of this message is to protect it. You have the right to protect your sacred space. Just as we protect our bodies, we must protect our minds. We must protect our hearts. Protect your consciousness. And as I've said for many weeks, what you consume, whether it is food, whether it is drink, whether it is people, whether it is places, whether it is things, becomes your frequency. Protect your holy space. That's number one. Number two, so important, especially if you're a trauma survivor like myself that's lived largely disembodied for prolific periods of time. Return to the body. I keep inviting my clients, like before we do any of the energy medicine, I'm just like, come in and wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes and like move with me for a moment. Just do that because it brings your energy field back down into the human. And a lot of us, and I would say the majority of people right now, are completely disembodied. They're so dysregulated from all the chaos that's being fed to us that they're not even in the body. The energy field is scattered. It's all over the place, kind of like my sweatshirt. It's different frequencies that are all not kind of meeting in the same harmonious frequency. So again, simple things, wiggling your fingers and toes, shaking, moving, wiggling, shake it off. This is such a good, simple practice. I was doing Tai Chi. I do Tai Chi all weekend long with this beautiful Sifu, and he is just like, prunk, 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 and we're doing it like 100 times. And I kid you not, that just like doing that simple exercise 100 times, you start to feel so much better. And I am doing a disservice to Qigong because it's much more intimate and deep. And what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful 3,000 plus year old tradition, but in its simplest form, because my mind likes to come in a lot. He'll be like, you just do this. So just do that, like shake it off, be in your body. They want you out of your body. They want you not sovereign. They want you disempowered. So again, protect your consciousness and drop back into your body. Good, simple medicine. This was coming from the Pleiades. Just, they really are big. I talked about this a little bit last time about listening to the body. We have this program and they really, my star teams don't like this whole idea of programming and that we tend to believe that we're computers and that we're storing things. As I talked about before, they want you to sense. So they see the body as this miracle, and it's a miracle that not everyone gets to participate in and not everyone gets to experience. And that's why there are so many teams that are here to help us, because they see the miracle that is humanity and that we're struggling. So they're reminding us to listen to the body. The body is a form of intelligence. Your intuition is a form of intelligence. If something feels off to you, then it's off for you. It's really that simple. Listen to your body. And I invite you to join me in a paradox for a moment, because the truth is the mind and body are one. They are unified. They are one field. They are a supreme intelligence that co-creates and communicates. And yet, we often listen to the mind and not the body. Like, we have been taught to listen and kind of live up here. And a lot of us are disconnected from here down. So the invitation, especially when you're feeling all the chaos and like the current energy, is to witness. I talk about this a lot when I talk about Tantra. Witness what is occurring without identifying with it. So I see I am feeling yada, 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 or I am witnessing I am feeling yada, 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 or, ooh, I want to react to yada, yada, yada. But again, you're distancing a bit. You are witnessing the sensation as it comes through. It is the invitation, it is the portal to whatever wants to be expressed. But because you're taking this, invitation energy with it, you're not becoming it. And that helps your body a lot. It liberates the body from having to carry the identity of whatever is being expressed. So again, witnessing, allowing, dropping deep into the body. And even it's like, oh, I'm feeling yada, yada, yada. Then how's it live in my body? Like, do I need to move it? Am I feeling shame? Am I feeling anger? How does anger or shame or that energy need to move through me? That's the invitation. That's the medicine of the body. Move it, move it, move it. If you move it and express it, you will not become your lived daily experience. Case in point, righteous rage is big now. Grief is big now. Disgust, shock, and awe. All of those things have a righteous place in the collective field. Yet we need to express it and move that energy so it doesn't toxify and calcify in the energy body. So good medicine. Again, they really, oh, I love this one. This is straight from Marguerite. I wrote exactly what she said here. Your body is a sanctuary, not a battlefield. Let that just land. It's so potent. Your body is a sanctuary, not a battlefield. Right now, many of us are being treated like battlefields, like the energetic field of the collective. And I'm super disengaged from the news and all of those things, but I'm deeply connected to star seeds and way showers and the people that come forward. And many of you work in places that are literally the energetic battlefield. So I see that. And bodies right now are behaving like battlefields. I wrote about this recently. I grew up on the Mason-Dixon line. I grew up walking Antietam battlefield, which was the bloodiest site of the Revolutionary War. There's a spot called Bloody Lane. When I was a little kid, I used to go down there and leave food. I was like a 5 and 7-year-old. I knew nothing about my energy sensitivity. All I knew is that there were hungry ghosts walking that land, and that when I walked there, I felt like something was being consumed from me. I share that story with you because that's how a lot of the unanchored, unhinged, unhealthy collective energy feels right now. People don't know what to do with the amount of disinformation that's coming forward and the amount of righteous rage, grief, shame, all the things that they are feeling as illusions and delusions are collectively shattered. And so there's just this hungry ghost energy that's coming from some people. And you have to really be in your sovereign, in your integral, grounded, connected to the earth, and able to witness it without becoming it. Okay. So even if it's something as simple as every day when you wake up and brush your teeth, because I talk to you guys about this all the time with your energetic practices, like when you're doing something like daily hygiene, do a decree. I am the sovereign integral of my field. I release any and all energy that is not mine. I call back all of my divine energy and send everything else on its evolutionary journey. My body is my sanctuary. Something as simple as that really, really helps wonders. So love this one too. Reclaiming rhythm. So nature works in cycles. And when we are in homeostasis, when we are at our highest and best, when we are capable of service, we work in that same rhythmic nature. A lot of the chaos, a lot of the noise, and this isn't just the recent stuff. It's been going on since I've been here for 4 decades. It's to destabilize that natural cycle in the human body, in the nervous system. If we're disrupted, if we're chaotic, we consume and we follow directions. If we're sovereign, we're grounded, we're independent, we don't listen to chaos. We know how to be our own creator or creatrix. So again, returning to rhythm, whatever that means for you. And that's going to vary person to person. But souls move cyclically. and this was really coming from my Palladian team, is like, souls do not care for what the ego wants. Soul doesn't care about optics. It doesn't care how things look. It doesn't care about timelines. What it cares about is really being in integrity. So what does integrity mean to you? Where are, hi Apollo, your cycles lacking integrity? Look at that. That's an invitation. Slowness is not a privilege to be earned. Look at cats. They move and they operate with fierce intensity when they want to. They also sleep like 20 hours a day. We've been programmed to believe that urgency is normative. Look at just text messages. People write you and they want like an instant response. And if you don't respond, some people will send more and more messages or call more and more. We were not made for urgency culture. It is part of what is making us sick. So look at where you can practice the pause, where you can be a little bit more cat-like and choose your boundaries. Because again, boundaries are sacred and we need a lot of them right now, collectively and individually. Good question here that the Pallades pulled through my notes. What pace is natural to my body right now? This is going to pivot and shift like all the time. What pace is natural to my body right now? Today, for me, getting up and dropping into creation, which is like this beautiful, potent, I've talked to you guys about it. It's like raw Shakti merged with, Shiva and pure consciousness. It's an intense energy. To me, it's world beyond Kundalini. And I have to be in right relationship for that frequency to come in as potent as it does before I step into, talking to you guys live online. And my body did not have the space for it today. My body was tired. My body was like, yes, absolutely, but not at the start of the day. Let's just move. Let's get some energy going and let's step into community. That's what my system needed today. Okay. And I really encourage you wherever you can to find that community right now. I know it's hard. If you're like, for me, I don't have a lot of way showers in my area. I don't. I know people around the world and I love them and I connect with them and they're some of my best friends, but there's very few people that are on the ground that share my personhood and my lifestyle. So find us where you can. That's part of why I'm holding these small spaces now, because just a few of us together is healing and it helps us all. It helps us all. So next, love this question too, again from the Star Mothers. What pace allows me to stay connected to myself? And that can change moment to moment, but what pace allows me to stay connected with myself? When I get really frenetic, because I work with creation energy so much, and I am a single mom, and sometimes I get like into all the things and to-do list and wanting to get it all done, I will remind myself, I walk with creation. I serve creation. How do I co-author with creation best now? And that just reminds me that like every single thing is a creative act. Every single thing is my co-creation, and that I need to be anchored into that frequency. And the Pleiades remind us, as did the Arcturians, they were very present in this conversation, that we are allowed to be different from the dominant culture. If you are like resonate with me and you know me in any capacity and you're here now, then you already vibe with that, man. Like we are here to be different. It's not that we need to even concern ourselves with that. We are actually here to be different. That is our medicine. That is our antidote to the toxicity now. If you've never fit into this culture, and beloveds, I haven't. I was telling a story to my Sifu the other day in Tai Chi. I was like, when I was 3, living in Washington, D.C.'s area, I had my whole family's military, right? And they put Reagan on the TV. And I'm like, why do you all worship a liar? Oh, they did not like that. They did not like that at all. And I was a 3-year-old. I didn't know that all politicians are liars at that time. But the reality was, I just was like, what is going on? Like, why are we all sitting here, like, pledging allegiance to something that's complete farce? If you've known that since the start, you're ahead of the game, because what they're doing right now and the disillusion and the burning of the old, it's not new to you. You've been waiting for this moment. This moment is an invitation. Let your nervous system settle into that and find the people that understand that. And if that's just you in quietude, you are enough. Because remember, you're never alone. You're never alone. You are part of a cosmic consciousness that loves you infinitely and that is here to support you. But law of the universe, you must ask. So if you feel alone, ask creator to support you. Ask creator to gift you like minds, hearts, and resonant fields in any capacity, be it online, in person, on the ground, in books. I find like consciousness all the time in books, in music. There are so many ways that the soul will communicate with you and that you will find resonance from the higher realms. But remember, beloveds, you must ask. I love this one too. Humanity will not heal through acceleration. It will heal through sacred pacing. In this time of AI and inauthentic everything, let that infuse your soul. We will not heal through acceleration. We will heal through sacred pacing. Again, look at how you engage your day, how you show up, the pace you take, the words you choose, the foods you eat, the energies you engage. That's your dance with creation. That's your sacred pacing. And you, my beloved, are the author of that in every capacity. Ooh, another good one. They were like on one the other day. So embodied relationship over digital immersion. So hear that again, beloveds. Embodied relationship over digital immersion. That doesn't mean we can't hold space and like be connected in this beautiful field we're co-creating right now. And I feel you guys, and I will drop into the chat in a moment. I love seeing you guys connect and talk. Digital immersion is like, it's kind of part of the toxicity that's happening right now. And I don't want to demean the internet in any capacity because it's connecting us right now. It's given us such gifts. But at the same token, a lot of people aren't engaging in person anymore. Since the pandemic, since we've been kind of scattered all over the world and safer behind screens, that's become the preference for a lot of us. And I will speak openly and honestly on that. I thankfully had a beloved that I barely know, but I had met her and connected with her in person at a channeling event. And she invited me out to this event that ironically, a bunch of my friends were facilitating, yet I wasn't going to the event. And had she not, like, beautifully, Brooke, are you going? Brooke, are you going? Hey, Brooke, I would love you to come. I wouldn't have showed up. And I ended up having such a beautiful experience. I got to receive not only sound medicine, but just the beautiful hugs and like the resonance of people in person. I became closer with her. We've hung out since. It was really good for my soul. And yet, because I do spend so much time online, I get to have the privilege of a global practice. I connect with near-death experiencers around the world. I kind of got stuck in this rut of digital immersion. And I'm seeing that with a lot of my beloveds. They can tell me what book to read or like what podcast to check out or like what song to listen to. But as far as like connecting in the field with other individuals, it's becoming rare for some of us. And so embodied presence, whatever that means for you, it could mean taking your computer to a coffee shop and just being around people where you're in the field. But we need to be in the physical, connected to people. Like it's super, super, super important. I go out to the park all the time and I just like connect through my heart space with strangers. So you can do that too. You can like, we have a unhoused epidemic here in Los Angeles County and it breaks my heart. So what I'll do as part of my walking meditations is I'll just go out and I'll wish blessings on the people that I encounter, and I'll take water and I'll take snacks and like whatever that I have that I can freely offer and bless my community. Things like that connect you through embodied presence and make you feel less alone. So whatever calls you in that capacity. This one's big. Practice emotional discernment. I would say that's everything right now. Practice emotional discernment. This is like super important medicine for those of you that are highly sensitives and empaths, which most of you, if you resonate with me, are. So yay, go team. But the reality is not every feeling is yours. And right now, if you're an empath, it feels like a very uncomfortable like soup. And you're kind of in it. Yeah, Paula's like, I don't want any of that. Like, I'm going now. You're getting too real for me. No, but really, the frequency, there's so much and there's so many feelings and so many people, they haven't made the space in the nervous system. And most honestly, I would say, as someone that's a former psychologist and a therapist by training, most people haven't been taught how to feel. They've been taught how to suppress. They've been taught how to rage. Like, there's certain emotions that are allowed, like rage and anger has been allowed in this culture, particularly in the masculine, and in the feminine, it's been internalized. But they haven't been the healthy expression of emotion in the here and now. We've been taught that we just keep going, like this worker bee mentality. So a lot of us need to learn how to feel. And as we learn to feel in the moment, in the immediacy of the moment, then we start having this beautiful gift of discernment. Okay? Because though I may feel what's going on in the collective, and though I may empathize what's going on in the collective, I'll give you a really tangible example. All of you know, trigger warning if you don't, but those of you that have followed me, you all know I'm a prolific sexual trauma survivor. Decades of my life were taken from that type of violence. And then later, because of that faulty programming from the wounding, I then became a domestic violence survivor and thriver. So I know the pain of very real trauma very much. But for those 30 some years, I was grossly disembodied per said trauma. I didn't have the capacity, despite wondrous training and despite being able to talk about it and write about it and all the things, my own system had not made space, authentic space, because clinical psychology, talk therapy, all of those things, they did not work for complex trauma. It's part of why I left that field. And so I had to learn to make the space to feel the emotion, ground it. And then I was able to be a healthier, aligned empath, aligned healer instead of a wounded healer, wherein I was helping people, but from my wounds and then compounding them and taking them on. So if any of that resonates, I invite you to really look at what's mine. You are allowed to grieve. You are allowed to rage. You are allowed to feel disgust, awe, love, deep compassion, care. You can feel it all simultaneously. That's your humanity. But you have to also be aware of what's mine, what's in the now, what's in the now, what's in the now, because the now is your power. The now is where you can change things. The now is from where you serve. So if you're getting overwhelmed, like the simplest invitation over and over is, what serves here? What am I feeling here? What is this feeling in service to? And be with that. Be with that. That intimacy to the holy moment can change things. And then again, bringing it back into the body, even if it's like, what am I feeling? I don't know. Move the body as you ask those questions and then stay present with it. And that's the trick, guys. And this is what's so hard. And I really feel this is why Spirit and Marguerite offered this stuff. People aren't present. They're just not, because again, the field is so overactive and purposely being manipulated right now. So presence, and then a thorough inventory of what's resonant in you. That is so, so, so medicine. And yeah, this was coming from the Pleiades as well. Every collective excuse me, I can't read my own light language. Every collective wave does not need to be your identity, meaning there are going to be more and more things that are disclosed. We are in a time of unveiling, and some of it is going to hurt, and some of it is going to be raw, and some of it's going to be triggering and activating. That's why it's coming forward after eons of suppression. And yet, it doesn't have to become your identity. circling back to what I just said, as a sexual trauma survivor, when the Epstein stuff came out, there was part of me that was relieved because I had been aware of it for a very long time. There was another part of me that couldn't stand hearing it in the media cycles because it was my lived experience for a very long time in a family system, not quite the same, but in a system where it was allowed and it was not stopped and I was not heard. So having that be in the news cycle and seeing what people did to those women and say to them and just the collective response. And then there was the Rape Academy. I mean, it was grotesquely triggering. And I had to really work on my energetic boundaries and also understanding that this unveiling, is for the highest and best. Like this information's coming forward so that survivors don't have to cower in shame, so that we aren't stigmatized, so that we are heard, and so that the deep feminine healing can occur, not just for women, but for the masculine too. So I invite you, don't take it on as identity, but be cognizant that the waves are here for a reason. And again, I kind of said this intuitively as I was channeling, but spirit wants to remind you, what am I actually feeling? Like, what's yours? Not like what's being put out there. Like when you hear the news or you see what's going down, what am I feeling? You. And what part of that belongs to me and what doesn't? What part is, I just want to care. I love, I'm an empath. I want to fix everything. And what part is, this is my raw emotion. That's sensory information and it's so valid. And what might I be absorbing? So like that funk I told you about where I got sick the other day, that was absorption. Like even though I was clearing all of the time, I was taking in so much. It was all in the back too. It's all old stuff. Like I love the body because it never is quiet about how it does things. It was all in the back and it was picking on portals in my body that I have a pretty horrific trauma vibe with. And I was picking up other people's stuff and I was absorbing it. So the invitation from the body is, to release all of that. What is not yours, and you can ask your body that. You can ask it. Like I have talked about this openly, but because my liver, my kidneys, and my lungs historically failed, liver in traditional Chinese medicine is associated with rage, lungs with grief, the kidneys with fear. As a complex trauma survivor, those were three predominant emotions I suppressed. So when I feel any of those activate, particularly the liver, because it was the one that nearly killed me, and it really held a lot of righteous rage, not just for my own sexual trauma, but for what had been done to the bloodline and women incarnate throughout, all timelines and all space. I then see it now like, okay, Fury, what do you want to talk about? Like, what do you need to teach me today? Teach me what you need to say. Therefore, if it teaches, I need not become it. I need not channel it. I need not cause harm from that space. Very simple practice, but very, very, very effective. And also it restores sovereignty. We sometimes operate based on emotions and that's not the core of our beingness. I would say so many people, especially highly sensitives, that come to me have this identity fracture where they identify with how they behave. Babes, that's not who you are. That's trauma. It's trauma. And for a lot of people, we've been operating in a trauma program for a really long time. And the ego takes that on as identity. And that identity, therefore, keeps us stuck in that trauma program because the identity doesn't feel good. We shame, we judge it, all the human stuff. You are not that. You are not your wounds. You are not your trauma responses. You are not what other people have told you. You really have to start stepping into the seat of your power, to your soul. Who are you behind these stories? Who are you before and after? What are you most resonant with? All the other stuff is noise. And just remember that in each and every moment, you have the sovereignty to change. Literally, this moment, you can change everything. So that is the invitation. Remain open without becoming psychically flooded. That's a good one. So for us empaths, remain open. Be the witness. Be the witness. You are the watcher. You get to witness. You get to receive. You are like an antenna. Most of us are transmitters and activators. If you resonate with me, you're on that frequency in some capacity. So, like a transmitter means like I can just put energy out there. It's no big deal. I also am an activator, which means people either love it or hate it. And the people that hate it, that's great. It's triggering their shadow. And man, I've had some righteous shadow medicine spewed at me since I started sharing my NTE. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. There are people that activate my shadow too. God bless them. They are the teachers. And also, we can activate the highest and best. I know for me, when I'm in like creation currency, as I like to call it, when I'm in flow with the infinite all of everything and I'm at my highest and best, I light people up. And I know people, some of you are here now, that light me up too. So that's medicine, man. Like be in that presence, whatever it means. But you have to be able to be in your divine essence without getting psychically flooded. So again, this is where energetic boundaries, sovereignty, grounding, these things are essential. These are like, again, like brushing your teeth. Practice your sovereignty, practice your clearing. Because if you're in that space, no matter what the news cycle or the collective vibe is, you're not going to take on the psychic flooding. You're just not. You're absolutely not going to do it. And then the last and highest and best expression of this is to become a stabilizing presence, meaning that you can walk into like absolute chaos and you're just there. Like, it doesn't shake you, it doesn't shake you. It's kind of like my children who have grown up in Southern California. An earthquake comes and they're like, it's just Gaia. It's just Gaia doing Gaia. Let her release. Like, it's all good. And that's kind of how I feel about these times. And it's why I was surprised by how my body took in some of the energy this past week or so, because to my spirit, this is all okay. I don't think it's pretty in any capacity, but it's okay because the chaos, the lies, the deception, the illusions, it's all coming up. And when it's coming up, that means it can be healed. We can't heal things we're hiding, guys. That's the invitation of these times. If we can't look it in the eye, if we can't witness it, if we can't love it, we can't heal it. And all of this awful stuff is coming up for healing. To me, that's beautiful. It might not look pretty how it's coming up, and I can tell you as a complex trauma survivor, when I started doing the real work, not the psychology stuff I studied for years that didn't work, not even EDMR, which didn't work for me because I see energy and lights were really tricky and I couldn't follow the light without getting like a migraine. It was really coming back into the body. I would say out of the traditional therapies, it was somatic experiencing that really helped me because it brought me back down and in, and some of the psychedelic work that I did to get back in the body. And that's the irony for near-death experiencers. Psychedelics actually grounded my experience. But whatever grounds things for you, whatever anchors you back in to this moment, to your center, to the beautiful mess that is our shared humanity, that's your key. That's your key. And I hope that even if it's just one of those 7 guidelines, like helps you get through your week a bit. Again, movement is medicine and meditation need not be still. A lot of people right now can't sit because the energy is just like so robust, or they're just overwhelmed in their nervous system capacity. So I highly encourage you to take meditative walks, to practice things like Qigong, where you're just like moving the energy. You reach out to people like me that will help you move the energy as well. But the simplest thing is moving your body, because your energy field, your mind, all of it is deeply connected to the somatic system. Your nervous system does better when you move. I've talked about this with people personally and privately, but most people trip out when they find out I live in Los Angeles County and I do not drive. That's right, people. I do not drive. I do not drive because of my after effects. I literally see energy all the time, and it can be really confusing when artificial lights from cars are coming and I'm seeing whatever's going on in the field. And like the 405, when you see everyone's energy, is a very scary place to be. So, not being able to discern sometimes the energetic field from the actual colors on the streets is a little bit terrifying, and I didn't want to cause harm. So I just quit driving and I started walking everywhere years ago. I ride my bike, I walk, I run, whatever. I'm not kidding. I couldn't imagine driving now. Like my friends joke when I get to meals that I'm always the happy one because I don't drive. But the reality is I move my body all the time. I found a way to live locally. I walk to the farmer's market 3 times a week. I walk to my kids' school. I have my Sifu and Tai Chi and Kung Fu across the street. I connect with you guys from home. I've found a way to adapt. But what's most medicinal to me is that I'm always moving my body. And as an energy sensitive, moving the body is everything. Like it's everything. So again, coming back in, bringing that energy field in, particularly if you're someone like me who's like very high vibe and can like live up in the ethers like super easily. Like I lived up there for, I'm pretty sure 10 years after coma. So you got to bring it down. You got to bring it down. You got to bring it down. You got to ground it. Mm. I'm circling back. I love hearing what you guys are saying. I just saw some of it. Okay, yay. So I'm just circling here. Yay. Hi, Chris. I'm happy you got to drop in. You know me, like totally impromptu. I didn't get to be on last week, guys. I'm sorry. I was sick, and it was not the energy thing. It was a little bug my kids had. By the way, you guys were holding space for my son. He had surgery this week. Went super, super well. So yes, yes, yeah, Chris, I get it. I've never fit in, so I totally get it. Aw, I love that you do that with the unhoused people as well, Chris. It's so awesome. I love my near-death experience or friends because you guys just do the coolest stuff. Oh, Ishtar, you got to drop into my random chat. Thank you so much for being here. He does some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful meditations. I've just so enjoyed going to some of his meditations. So you guys, it's my beloved near-death brother, Ishtar. Check him out. Most of you know him, I think. But yes, oh, I love it. In Portugal, welcome from Portugal. Oh, I love that it's resonating for you. Oh, super cool, super cool. And you too, Serenity. Yay. I love that. I love that. Yes, like I'm glad my kid's little earthquake example resonated. Like there's just some practical stuff. Like I have a closing chapter in my memoirs that are coming out next month where there's a chapter called The Wisdom of Children. And it's based on like stuff that's happened with my actual kids. And one of them was like the pandemic and like the world shut down and like literally no one's coming over. It's just us. They are 2 and 6 years old at this time. And yet I'm frenetically going and like cleaning everything and making everything all perfect. And my son's like, what are you doing this for? And I'm like, excuse me, like he totally interrupted the pattern because I had been indoctrinated that things had to like have a look and they had to be clean and they had to be presentable, and like you never knew when the neighbors were coming over, blah blah blah. It was like indoctrinated into me from my family. And it's like no one's coming over and like the world is not going to end if the dishes aren't done. It was just like that. I needed that child to kind of look at me and say, why are you moving so much? And he actually followed it up by saying, this must be why you meditate so much, so that you sit still. So again, children are natural observers. I always joke that like I became a scientist mostly because as a child, I was already a scientist. Like I was an intuitive kid and I was observing everything and I was studying it and I was figuring out things and making relationships and figuring out the etiology to a lot of things that didn't make sense to my intuitive heart mind by witnessing. And so develop and nurture that like inner child, because that inner child is a way shower and it's a portal to the most organic part of you. You know, a lot of people talk about inner children healing like all the time, particularly in my former field of psychology. I don't know. Oh, this is probably not going to be a popular opinion, but I don't know that I believe in healing the inner children. I believe in right relationship with the inner children. I feel that the inner children in all of their capacities, the rebel, the essence, the most, aggressive parts, they have medicine and they're teachers and they're wisdom keepers and they walk with us multidimensionally through all time and space so that we are aware of the multitudes we contain, so that we nurture the parts that didn't get nurtured, so that we hear the parts that didn't get heard, and that we're soft when we didn't get softness. So I don't know. I've done a lot of work and I've studied all the psychologies and I've worked with some of the greatest teachers and pioneers in that field. And yet I truthfully do not feel that my inner children have been healed. I feel they've been known. And to me, perhaps that's better than healing, like the witnessing, the intimacy, the knowing, and being able to carry them in the here and now as allies instead of wounds. To me, that's medicine. So I love that this has been resonating with you guys. I love that you showed up today. I kind of like that I wasn't in the creation current and just kind of free flowed with you for a minute today, just because it's a different energy. It's a little bit more intense because I was feeling like the potency. I'm not sure why this particular week for me has been like the collective. I'm usually so able to kind of like ground it and kind of keep like a creation force field because of my practices. But this week it was just like the tsunami that came in, and the whole message from spirit was like, just allow, just allow, just allow. Like, when you're, I don't know, I'm in Southern California, obviously. So we have riptides here, and you can always tell the people that don't understand surfing and don't understand swimming because they will go against the riptide. And if you go against the riptide, babe, you get pulled further and further and further and further and further and further out. So this tsunami that came in for me this week, I was just like, I'm not fighting you. Like, I surrender. I surrender. And as I surrendered, these beautiful lessons like what Marguerite shared and what I've expanded upon today with Pleiades and my own channeling, it's just good stuff. Sometimes we just have to surrender and go with that tide, whatever it is. There's no right or wrong. And the invitation is to remember that it is all creation, the good, the bad, the ugly. And in every moment, you have the capacity to choose what you're taking in, what you allow into your sacred space, what you resonate with, and what you choose to engage with henceforth. Your consciousness right now is your power. Protect it fiercely, beloveds. I love you so much. I'm out for today. I'll see you guys next week, 9 a.m. PST. If you were here live, please drop a like or some love on the actual video, not just in the chat, because it really helps just get some fellow way showers here, because I am not advertising this. I'm just showing up for heart resonant people because that's my service. That's my creation currency. So thank you for being here with me today. I love you all, and I will see some of you in the integration circle, which follows next. Thank you guys. Oh, I appreciate you. Bye, babes. See you later.